Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and I wanted to do a follow-up on the Zinwell TV tuner that I reviewed the other night. In that video, I claimed that the box did not work as advertised because it was unable to decrypt DRM encrypted stations here in my home state of Connecticut without an internet connection. And the big selling point of this device was that it did not require any kind of internet connection to decrypt these encrypted stations. And this was one of the things that the broadcast industry has been pointing to as to why this DRM is not going to be all that disruptive to consumers. And that will be a discussion for another day. But I did want to focus on some things that I've heard since I posted my video, because some folks are having a different experience than I've had, and I want to be fair about this. So I'm going to put up a couple of comments that I got first here on the YouTube channel. So WNY Over the Air posted that a bunch of folks in the AVS forums did not have the same issue that I ran into, and they were able to get their device to work without an internet connection. Additionally, I heard directly from someone who owns the device, XM Guy here, who also did not use the internet but was able to get those stations decrypted and viewed, again, without having to plug it into the internet first. And what I thought I would do is actually show you what my experience was when I first booted the box up, because I showed you some screenshots but not the actual play out of what happened. So I captured the first moments of this box from the moment I turned it on to when I tried tuning channels without the internet first. And here's what we got. So here's the channel scan completing, and as you can see there, it finished. And the first channel it tuned to is WFSB, which is an encrypted channel here in Connecticut. And all I got was this black screen here with a gray flashing. It just sat there. And I did pull up the info guide here, but I let it sit to see if maybe it would tune, and it didn't. I then tuned to an unencrypted channel just to make sure that it was working with ATSC 3 at all, and it was. So channel 8 here in Connecticut has not yet been encrypted, and that was able to decrypt just fine. And then I went over to WVIT, which is the other encrypted channel here, which is when I received the message that I had to plug this thing into the internet in order for it to work. And you can see it kind of sat there for a minute, and then the notice came up here, which became part of the thumbnail and, of course, the video that you saw on Saturday. Now, this product is currently being sold by Channel Master here in the United States, and I did hear today from Channel Master President Joe Bingochet about what I experienced, and he says he's concerned that something else may have happened with that particular channel because we have done a lot of testing in multiple markets and have not had any issues tuning a DRM encrypted channel without ever having an internet connection to the device. And I don't doubt that they tested this thing and it worked maybe in other markets, but they apparently didn't test it here in Connecticut. And you think this would be the one market they would test it in, with their chief critic here happening to live in range of those towers. So right now in Connecticut, the experience that I had, I believe, is what other Connecticut residents might experience. And if other stations across the country are configured the same way, they will likely experience this problem as well. Now, what about the quick start guide here, where it indicated that you did need an internet connection first to get things working? And to be honest with you, when I read this and then experienced this, it was kind of no surprise to me that an internet connection would be necessary. And it really kind of set me off that this would be inside of the box when in fact they were claiming something to the contrary. To that end, Joe here says that the QSG, which is the quick start guide, is incorrect. Unfortunately, this was written before it was launched and was never updated after the improvements were made and before it shipped. And this is once again, I think, another example of just how haphazard this DRM rollout is. Because apparently some markets are working, my market is not. We don't have specs for anything other than Android at the moment. It feels like this whole thing is kind of being made up as they go along. And it's not Channel Master's fault. They're kind of at the mercy of whatever the industry decides to do. But what concerns me here is that it used to be you made a device that would meet the standard and would comply with FCC certification and you were done. Now you have to go through a whole certification process with the broadcasters themselves, in addition to all the other regulatory stuff you have to meet. And it's just showing you what a mess this DRM is and how poorly planned this whole thing turned out to be. Now, Joe also said that they are making a video that will show that this does in fact work, and they will share that with me and I'll share with all of you once it is complete. So I did just want to get that out there. Again, I am not taking back what I put up because that was my consumer experience. I bought the unit with my own funds right off their website like any other customer would. I took it home, I took it out of the box, was told inside the Quick Start Guide that I needed an internet connection, and that is exactly what happened when I plugged it in. If the box worked as advertised, I would have told you that, but in my experience, it did not. So we will come back to this. I am sure there'll be more to come. I'm sure they're probably talking with the engineers here in Connecticut about it. But again, I think this just proves the point that this DRM is doing nothing other than inconveniencing consumers and not really addressing the goal that they have to prevent unauthorized retransmission. More to come, but I just wanted to get that out there to let you know that my experience may not be what everyone else experiences, but the review stands as I posted it because that is what I experienced as a consumer. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Budley, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Steve Green, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.